Folks, we're going to run another video here. Amplifier we're looking at is a bass amplifier. It runs on 110 volts. Built by Joe the Grinder in South Alabama. It does run a pair of 4cx300A tubes. It does two of them. Standard plate and load. You've got a variable output down here and a tuned input right here. So it does have a tuned input. Yeah, power switch, standby. This is down, the amp will not key. This is up, it will key. Plate meter monitors the plate voltage. We're idling at about 2400. Audio, radio goes down to about 18 or 1900 on the key, which is significantly very low plate voltage for these tubes, which will make sure your tubes last a long time. This being a very rugged tube, you should probably not have to replace the tubes in this thing. I mean, just normal talking, I could see the tubes lasting, 5 years or upwards of 5 years, especially at that plate voltage. A lot of people run these tubes at a higher plate voltage, somewhere around 3000 volts, give or take, and you will see significantly larger numbers out of the tubes, but you will see significantly less time using those tubes. You'll be replacing tubes a lot more often that way. We got an internal blower here. You can't hardly hear the amp running. It's very quiet sitting on the desktop, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of room. It's a pretty compact amp. It's lightweight. It does use toroid transformers, so it keeps the amp very lightweight. It's not heavy, won't break your back picking it up. A little bit about the 4cx300A. It's a really rugged tube. In my opinion, a tougher tube than a 250B, but a similar tube. It's a radio drive tube. Just takes a radio to drive it. Recommended drive probably 30 to 35 watts tops. It's a tube that is used by the military, and you can buy these tubes for between $35 to $50 a piece. In that regard, let's say you blow both your tubes in this amp, something happens. For $100, you're back on the air again. Don't have to pay anybody to do any soldering or anything like that. Just pop your tubes in and you're good to go. Enough of that jibber jabber. We'll get over here. We're running a Cobra 29 into it today, 25 watts peak, tuned by Forrest Gump in Alabama. We're going to be keying about 2 watts, give or take. Our variable power is on our SWR calibrate, so we're looking at about 2 watts. The radio key 5 watts tops. Our variable output is going to start out all the way open, and we're going to test this thing on average first. And we've got a 1000 watt slug, bottom scale. This is average power. Keying about 90. Audio, 1, 2, 3. Audio. Swinging about 295 to 300 average. We'll turn our peak kit on. Excuse me there. Peak kit's now on. Bird 43P. Same slug. Audio right at 900 watts. Audio test. Audio 1, 2, and 3. Audio about 900 watts peak. What we're going to do, we're going to zoom out here and turn our variable bias, or variable, turn our variable back to 12 o'clock. And we're not going to be keying a whole lot at all. Hello, audio, 1, 2, 3. Basically turns this thing into a big old modulator when you turn it back like that. Audio, 1, 2, 3. About 700. We'll come over here. We're going to turn it all the way down. Keying less than 10 watts. Audio, 1, 2, 3. Audio. 650 to 7. We'll turn it way back up. Whoop. Zoom out, wide open again. 1000-watt slug still. Audio 1, 2, and a 3. Audio. 900 watts, maybe a little bit more. That is peak power. Bird 43P. Now, you saw when we turned our variable back, we lost a lot of our carrier. Keep in mind, we're only keying 2 watts into this thing. So, you could turn this thing back about halfway, raise your carrier up on your radio, and still have a little bit of carrier in there. Or, like I showed you, you can turn this thing down, and you've got one hell of a modulator here with all kinds of forward swing. So again, I think this thing would make somebody an excellent box. I would key no more than probably 200 watts out of it and let it swing the rest. That's just my opinion. We were keying at about 90 watts for this video. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hope I didn't drag it out too long. Just trying to give you some information on this amp. If you're interested in this amp or something else you see on my YouTube, you can text me 423-299-3535 and we will try to help you out. Hope you guys enjoy 73s.